Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. This is Brother Taza Pie here with your daily lunch special, and today we're going to be serving up some Iranian conflict, all right? As ongoing talks have been going on for weeks now, if not months, concerning invading Iran by Israel, as well as the U.S., all right, and I have this picture here, as you see, but you got two small hats sitting in the front seat, and they driving the car, and Trump in the back seat, all right, with a little toy steering wheel, you know, acting as if he's driving. And the meaning here is obvious of what they're trying to convey, and it's true, all right? Not only is it obvious, but it's true. And, all right, this goes to show, I had a video, but I guess I didn't download it because I don't have it in my, you know, it's not in my files. So something went wrong. But anyway, what that is right there, what you see, if we look at Jeremiah 50 and 45, it says here, all right, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flocks, all right, the least of the flocks, biblically, are the Amalekites, all right. Now these are the devils that's roaming the earth, that's controlling a lot of what you see, what came out with the Epstein files, what's been going on, and all of the madness, the Weinstein. You notice all these Steins and Steins, all right? And that's indicative because these are some of the people, all right? The devils now, I'm talking about the Edomites, and they're all the devil, but the least of the flock is the biggest of the devils, all right? And they're going around masquerading as the children of Israel, calling themselves Jewish, Israeli, and all this other madness. But that's a facade. The true children of Israel are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly that are spread across the entire globe. All right? Now, the point here being is that, all right, these people are the least of the flock, but you see them going around and they're, you know, behaving as if there's something special. And they're putting all these rules and laws into effect that they want to make people, they want to force people into treating them special, they're giving themselves special rights and stuff. You know, but these people, all right, the small hats are the least of the flock. And it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, all right, by bringing them into the third world woe. This third world war, Iran is the linchpin. And once they go in there fucking with Iran, on a major military scale, then that's going to cause Russia and China to come in, all right? Now, what the U.S. pulled in Venezuela was a blow to Russia and China because Russia and China was in bed with Venezuela, and I had said that from the beginning, that this is to get at China, all right? And then Trump, well, there's videos of Trump, and he's saying, well, if you want the oil, we'll sell it to you. We're in the business of selling the oil. He was talking about the Venezuelan oil because somebody had asked him, well, how's this going to affect Venezuela's ties with Iran and China, because they was, doing business. And Trump's answer was, well, if they want oil, we'll sell it to them. All right, we're in the oil business. So that was some gangster shit, among other things. All right, you went in there to steal so that you could prop up this bullshit ass corporation known as America. Okay? Right, so that's what you see. This picture here, I can't get it. So this picture here, this won't rotate. But I don't know why it does that. It shows that the small hats in the lead. America is in the back seat, all right, being led, being driven. What are they driven to? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out into their destruction. That's why it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, because he's going to draw them into this third woe by pushing Iran to the limit. All right, Iran been under strict sanctions for decades, and Israel won't let up. They comply with all of the nuclear energy requirements. They've been playing ball for the most part, but they can't catch a break. Well, that's all of us under this devil. He's not going to give you a fair break. All right? But right, this is what's going on. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, prophesied about this coming. All right? And how it would come by these gutter rats whose eyes stand out with fatness, who have more than heart could wish. As greedy dogs, they can never have enough. All right, now that's 2-3 different scriptures put together, but all of them speaks to the spirit and the soul of this devil. All right? This is Ezekiel 38:1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So he's saying prophesy against. Who is this God in the land of Magog? Well, it's talking about Russia, all right? When you see the chief prince of Meshach, all right, chief prince, how you say that in the Paleo Hebrew is Ra'ash is chief or head, and Shar is prince. So you say Ra'ashar, which throughout the ages, right, would become Russia. But it's Ra'ashar, the chief prince of Meshach, Moscow, and Tubal. All right? It says, and prophesy against him. Now, this is to Russia. So that's why when it said he will make their habitations desolate with them, because he's bringing them all into the third woe, and they're fighting each other to destroy and bring down each other. All right, the Russians against the small hats, and America is Edom on Edom, and that's how they're going to be destroyed. The Most High is going to use these devils to destroy themselves. All right? And even when you go back, well, I messed that up. You go back, because there's a lot of good stuff. This is what it said back in Jeremiah 50. And look at 44. It says, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. Okay, that ain't the one. Right here, this is it. Yep. Salakia, so this is it. Jeremiah 50 and 41. Behold, a people shall come from the north. Where is Russia? Where's Ra'ashar? Or Ra'ashar? It's north, all right? Damn the extreme north. That's what that's talking about. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation. Is not Ra'ashar a great nation? Their military, in my opinion, all right, my opinion, is unmatched. I put Russia up against any military right now. But this is the Most High did that. It says, and a great nation and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. All right, check this out. They shall hold the bow and the lance, the missiles. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Is that not what was prophesied in Isaiah the 13th chapter? Tomorrow we might get that, if the Lord will. I want to go into that. Their voice shall roar like the sea. They shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. We know that the Russians, particularly from Isaiah the 13th chapter, is the ones that's coming against America. All right? Bear with me 1 second.
Hey, I didn't know if you were bullshitting or what. I was fixing to cut out. I didn't fool you. I didn't fool you. I was like, get out of here. Yeah, I see you looking on the face. If you get up and put out so fast.
All right. So like you for that. We go back Ezekiel 38 and pick up, I guess, verse 3. So it says here, Ezekiel 38 and 3. Let's get to again. Ezekiel 38 and 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, all right, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. All right, Tubal is going into Turkey. And prophesy against him and say, thus said the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So keep that in mind. The Lord is against them. These people are Edomites as well. So this act that I'm going into is for their destruction. This is their judgment. All right. And it said, verse 4, and I will turn thee back. Because if you look at Russia, they've been on a progressive path. All right, trying to make friends and stuff, making these leagues and these economic pacts. They just set up BRICS. Everybody want to be a part of it. Russia got it going on right now. That ain't what the Lord want. See, they're posturing themselves according to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Why do the heathen rage? Russia is posturing themselves, as well as China, to be that next to be the next USA, all right, to be that next America. But they don't know. In the video that I had, it was explaining that nobody wants war with Iran but the small hats. And I'll find it, and then Lord will, I post it, maybe tomorrow. But that's what it is. Nobody wants to. Why? And why even does Israel want to fuck with Iran? And we know, bottom line, I know they have their reasons, but bottom line is prophecy. All right? So the Lord saying, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. All right? Meaning Russia had dissolved the Soviet Union in the 90s, early 90s, I believe 1990, 91. The Soviet Union was dissolved and broken up. All right? But the Lord is putting that union back together. That's what he's saying. I will turn thee back, all right, to the USSR. All right? The USSR is getting back together. That's what you see, that campaign in Ukraine. Russia is conquering and acquiring Ukraine. All right? So you can go and say Ukraine is back in the Soviet Union now. But that's what it's talking about. The Lord is going to bring back the Soviet Union. All right? It said, and I will bring thee forth all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, meaning men of war. All right? Men that handle swords are men of war. And look at this, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. What's the significance of this? If you know anything of your Iranian history, before 1935, Iran was known as Persia for millennia. All right, Iran is a fairly new name, not even 100 years old. They was always known as Persia. And that's what it's saying, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya. All right, with them, all of them with shields and helmet. All right, and we'll stop it right there. Just so you know, so the Russians were set up so the Lord could destroy them. They were set up to be a defender of Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, is still Ethiopia, Libya, all right, which is still Libya. So that's going into Africa. So from the Middle East down to Africa, and if you pay attention, Russia has business with all of these. Well, at least Iran and I'm sure Ethiopia, but I knew before they deposed of Gaddafi, you know, I'm sure they was doing business with Libya. I'm talking about Russia. All right. But anyway, we'll finish this up tomorrow if the Lord will. All right. So till then, y'all stay up. Much love. All right. And again, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. All right. To the next one, stay up. Shalom.